Hi friends, I'm the Kitty Ghoul. As a self-proclaimed artist and crafty person, and self-reported old person, I have decades of experience making things. So I want to take you all on my first episode of the Kitty Ghoul Sewing Tricks and Treats. And hopefully you can learn something. I really wanted to do some sewing tips every week, and I want to start off this week with a pretty easy one. I'm here sewing Gulia, and the first tip is using binder clips. You can find these at an office supplies store. They are extremely strong and they don't tend to break because they're an all metal piece. Where I find that these sewing clips, these plastic ones, although they are nice for thinner fabrics, they tend to snap and break when it comes to thick seams. I got mine, I don't remember where I got mine actually, but they're the nice rainbow steel that matches most of my other hardware. Next tip, when it's dealing with really thick layers of vinyl foam and fabric, I use my crafty stapler. The stapler that I'm using is Fiskars Craft Stapler, which you can find at pretty much any craft store. I really like that this stapler has like an ergonomic shape, that it's meant to be used handheld stapling as opposed to a stapler that's meant to go on the table surface. And I also very much appreciate this shallow lip that it has, that makes it easier to get the fabric in between and into the staple function. It uses its own staples. I actually currently have no idea whether or not these are proprietary, non-standard. I know that they are thicker than paper staples, but they are quite a bit smaller than staple gun staples. As far as the cost goes, I mean, it is Fiskars. You're gonna get a deal. They are an affordable brand for most of their products, and they are good. They are very good. I'll slap the cost there if I remember it in post, but I used a coupon, so it was a bit cheaper than the MSRP. Keep that in mind. This has been invaluable when it comes to this amount of thickness, because sometimes these tend to slide, but this prevents that entirely. So when it comes to the stapler, all I do is open the stapler up, and I have it clipped right now so I can make it easier on myself to staple the seam where I need it to go. So I'm following a stitch line that I did a basting stitch inside the seam allowance, and just staple that part. Here you can see that the stapler went through. Apologies for the lack of contrast, but yes, that is where the staple now is. And afterwards you just trim off the seam allowance where these staplers are. Sometimes the seam allowance may be too small for the scissors to cut out the staples. And instead of risking a pair of scissors cutting into metal and ruining them, I got a pair of needle nose pliers and pulled out the staples. Cleanup is just as easy as it is with broken pins. You take a magnet wand and scoop up all the staples. And that is my quick sewing tip for this week. I hope that helped, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.